Daybreak.
Starting to the top right of the map, we have in the red our Slayers player. He was able to tie things up. Actually, they showed us the wrong player. This is not Slayers. Mia, no, this is the Samsung Khan player. It is
Samsung Khan, Roro.
He's got a lot of great coaches to back him up as well. Sontek being one of them, and of course the lovely January.
Did you just realize it?
What?
Legend was testing me.
He was testing you?
Yeah, I think I passed. He actually showed Mia first, and I started to introduce Mia. But no, we have the Slayers player at the top right, and now at the bottom left. Did someone mix up the colors, or is it testing me again? No, at the bottom left now, we... Okay, Legend, you are mixing this up. This is actually the wrong player, but the one player that we need to introduce right now is the Slayers player, and his ID is...
That was actually...
Slayers.
My brain just melted
Mia.
there. And I suddenly found myself wondering if I didn't know, if I was like, the coach for Samsung Khan, it's January, right? That's the right month? Like, she's really popular and she's famous, and I'm like, it's January, right? That's her ID. Like, I know her name's Kim Ga-oh, but like, her ID, I don't know. I was freaking out. You were freaking out about that, and my brain was turned to mush, man.
Yeah, Legend was completely trying to fool me here. Guys, in case you didn't realize what was going on, we have Roro at the bottom left. It's not Mia starting at the bottom left. Mia is starting at the top right. So, a slight slip up by our monster observer, by one of the best observers out there, by Legend, but we caught that in time, so... Thank you very much.
Maybe it was a test, yeah.
I think it was a test. Legend doesn't make any mistakes. He doesn't.
It's always intentional, man.
Exactly.
He misses that drop. He really wanted to look at that doodad. Like, it wasn't his fault, man.
Okay, to the top right now, Mia with this expansion, with this hatch after pool, and at the bottom left, we have, of course, Roro.
Roro being very aggressive, and now he's got the chance to be aggressive again in other ways, or try to play a different style of late game. He committed a ton of resources to an attack that was never able to break through the spines. He didn't even try to use it. But because he spent so much resources on that, Mia got ahead in tech and really used it. Oh, and I think I figured it out. It's because they changed colors, and that's normally does not happen in the best of series. So that's why probably got confused.
Yeah,
it all makes sense now.
No, they changed the colors. This is perfectly right. The thing is that now we have a little bit of a better opening for Roro, because it has the earlier hatch. He was a bit greedier here with this build. Didn't play it safe. But I'm more interested in what exactly the mid-game strategies are, because that is when we usually see a little bit of differentiation in types. And on this map you can do so much. You can start with Infestors, you can go for Mutalisks even. Yeah. Or just stick with Roach, Ling, and then maybe later on a couple of Hydralisks.
Hydralisk always being a great unit to add in with the Fungals support. Obviously the Hydralisk just outrange Roaches and tear them apart with their high DPS.
In a lot of these matchups, or sorry, not matchups, but a lot of these openings actually evolve around denying the third phase of your opponent. Not all of them, but for example, if you have Mutalisks, your opponent is trying to play more with the ground-heavy army, then you always want to take down your opponent's third with Circling Runbys, for example, or the Mutalisks started. Just these little things to make sure that the gas income is better for you, that your opponent does not have the same amount of tech units. But of course, up first we have those two Baneling nests for both of them. You just can't skip it. It's really so dangerous if you decide to not go for the Baneling nest but straight into Roaches. You can pull it off with a little bit of luck, but it's a really risky move.
Super risky. And Roro, by the way, scouted. He saw that how much gas was mined. He saw the drone count. And that's the most important part of seeing, two base with gas, because he knows, okay, yeah, he's got a Baneling nest, but he's not using it to attack. But rather, Roro now seems to be keen on doing that. At the very least, he's making 10 Lings, and he's got the ability to make more. He's hesitating a little bit on that, though. Wow, 6 Banelings.
Mia's actually heavily supply blocked here. He is currently at 43 or 44, and he doesn't get any overloads. Oh, he starts his tech. Okay, that's why he wants to put his resources in. Starts with a very early lair tech here already. Let's see how Roro is going to react to this. He's also supply blocked, and he's, by the way, not getting any overlords at all. He's already at 500 minerals.
That's a big mistake. He's really obviously concerned about microing these Banelings, but, well, micro as much as he wants. You need 2 Banelings to kill a drone, and so therefore these drones are all alive, but the next wave of Lings could be a problem. Decides to go for the Queen. I really like this choice, and he will just barely get it. That's well worth it, actually, getting the Queen, but the Baneling hits could have been better.
Yeah, the Baneling nets could have been a little bit better, but look at the mineral count for Roro. Okay, now he's starting to get those overlords and everything starts going again, but he really had a lot of minerals banked up, and now the tech is already done for Mia. So this is actually a little bit weird. We just had 750 minerals for Roro at some point before he started to use his bank in order to get the Roach War and all these structures that we currently see on the production tab. Also the expansion, so a little bit shaky.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure if that was really intended. I don't think so. I think he just decided, okay, well, I don't have the overlords, I forgot them.
Mia's making 5 overlords right now. He's supply blocked as well, but he's going to get a Spire, which makes this okay. Because obviously you don't want to be spending resources while you want to save up for that Spire anyways.
And look how fast the Spire tech is compared to Roro's tech.
Yeah, he's not even halfway done with there yet.
Exactly, and this will help Mia a lot. He can hit it in very decent timing here. And it does not really look like Roro is trying to get too aggressive here. I mean, +1 is coming up for the Roaches. The gas has been spotted, so now Roro at least knows how much gas there's involved at this point. But will he go straight for the Infestation Pit, or will he start with speed for the Roaches?
That's a very important question, as obviously he does not have information about the Spire. And the Spire does need to do damage, though, especially if he goes straight for Infestors. He's going to need to force the cancel on the hatchery, kill drones there, or at least trade efficiently at the hatchery, killing units and then getting away. Lair done, and he goes Roach Speed first.
Goes Roach Speed first, no tech so far.
And he is going to do a lot of damage at this base if he controls his units against the Banelings well. The Roaches are not out yet, and that was close. He's buying time for the Roaches, though. They are going to be critical at defending this hatchery.
That was well done by Mia. That was really well done. These trades were not too bad, and now suddenly he can work at this third base. And the problem for him is, here come the Mutalisks right now, 7. And the Roach count is getting a little bit annoying and dangerous, but at the same time, Mia can do a lot of damage. The question is, where is he going to attack, and what is Roro going to do? Is he going to go straight for a run-by and starts to do damage himself? Because there are not too many Spine Crawlers.
He's going to need to do some damage, and, well, it actually depends on what Mia is able to do with these Mutas. That is the critical question right now. The Mutas are moving across. I don't want to say misrally, but because he did not rally immediately, and because he's actually going to spend time to kill his Overseer, this is all very important for Roro. He's getting a little bit more time here to get those Spore Crawlers up. For example, Roach Speed is now going to be done. And if he does not kill this hatchery, obviously Roro will not only be ahead in economy, but he's going to have that Roach count, which is something you want to have in the mid to late game anyways. That's something that Roro is very behind on.
He can just bust this one Spore Crawler now.
Yeah, he almost gets it, but now if he sends his Muse, he can, but he knows, hey, wait a minute, I can't actually defend this because I don't have very many spines. I got to use my Muse defensively here, and this is a great position for Roro to actually try to trade.
Exactly what I talked about like 2 minutes earlier. He's going for the attack because he knows that gives him time, and his opponent is vulnerable, so he's using it. And yes, he will lose those units, but how much damage will he actually do with this?
Can he kill some drones at the third base here? That will put him even further ahead in economy since he's had this up for so long. Back at home, he's got the Infestation Pit, so he's got that transition available. And the Mutas, man, they're right now just kind of flying around. Yeah, they're going to deter these Roaches, but they were not used in a way that Mia wanted to use them. He could have just used Roaches if he was concerned about defending. He wanted to do damage and was not able to do so.
Resources lost in total is fairly even. Roro lost a little bit more, 600. And Mia is now actually the first one of the two that it turns... Sorry, no, he's not. Roro already finished with his Infestation Pit, and Mia just started it. Did not spot that earlier. Yeah. He's already going for Pathogen Gland, so everything's fine here. I was actually, for a moment, like, really weirded out, but everything is like it's supposed to be. But Mia is controlling the map right now. This counter-attack by Roro did some damage, but he only took down 4 Harvesters, so it's still fine. And Mia can now take down all these Roaches, make sure that the Mutalisks are really worth it.
Yeah, keeping the Mutas at bay is Roro, but this is going to eventually be a trade he doesn't want to use. He wants to build up that Roach count to be able to hit a timing to punish his opponent for being behind in economy so much. Right now, +1 Carapace is almost done for Roro. And
Mia by now is actually a little bit ahead, like with his Harvester count, so he's looking at a pretty good composition. Yeah, because you talked about Mia. Okay, sorry, I misunderstood.
No, it's totally fine. And Roro is going to have 1/1 upgrades here, with another hatch going up in his main for, reinforcements, just macro in general. This hatchery has been spotted, and this is so critical. He's making the Banelings to make sure he can force a cancel, but he might as well be attacking this with Lings. I don't fully grasp why he's not going for that. Okay, now he does. He's just going to force the Mutas over there. But Roro is about to hit a sick timing with 1/1 with so many Roaches. All these Banelings are being burrowed. This is really intriguing, actually.
Well, he has to. He knew.
Okay, I was like, I was like, why would he try to burrow the Banelings in this case? Okay, you just want to save him against those mutas. And now he can actually use them to run by. If Mia does not react, he's going to find himself in trouble.
Yeah, okay,
well, actually, the Spine Crawler reacts. No matter what, the Spine Crawler is paying attention.
That was well done, but I loved how Roro did this. He knew exactly with the Zerglings attacking the hatch that the Mutalisk would fly his way, so he borrows the Banelings because he knows that he would lose them.
Yeah, I feel stupid, actually.
No, you don't have to, but it was really well done. I mean, that was pretty cool.
I was like, I mean, he can't possibly think that he's going to detonate these on roaches and make it worth it. Right now, Roro actually is starting to fall behind in supply. Mia with the Harvester count starting to make some headway, actually. And he's picked up so many roaches all over the map, he's even going to stop this 4th hatchery with his mutas as well, splitting them against possible infestors.
And this is actually now a really good spot for Mia to be in. These Mutalisks just were so cost efficient throughout the entire course of the game. Is the drone still alive, or am I seeing things? The drone is borrowed. Nice. What a reaction time for Aurora. Really well done.
Oh, the spines here are not done. Oh my god!
Detonate them!
Oh, he gets all the larvae as well.
Oh my god, that was such an in-your-face moment. 8 Harvesters killed by Mia with this move.
Mia has crawled his way into a great position here. He's now got Hydralisk coming out. He's catching up with the upgrades. In fact, will pull ahead with a faster +2 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's going to have +2 first.
A lot faster, and the armor upgrade, that's the one advantage that Roro has, but Mia is already more than halfway done with his, and he's getting so many Hydralisks here. He has a great Infestor count as well. Mia is just in a better position.
This is starting to look like the type of play and the confidence that Sela had earlier that we discussed briefly.
Yeah, maybe the first game, the match with Mia was still a little bit nervous, but right now it's looking good. And a good fungal here, though.
Yep, grabs those mutas. And this is actually going to allow Mia to make more supply and whatever he wants, but...
this was bound to happen at some point.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like he's not going to leave the mutas alive intentionally so his opponent can't make more roaches. He's just like, oh, well, he lost some mutas, that's fine.
Here we go.
Yeah, this attack is really critical for Roro. He needs to get a good position here. He's not going to be able to win the game by any means, but maybe he can preoccupy Mia and then go for a run by, because Mia defensively is splitting really well here, and he's getting his Hydras count insane right now. He's going to actually go up to 23. That's a lot of Hydras.
Mutalisks are trying to escape from the fungal, able to pull it off. The army supply is a little bit in favor of Roro, but we have Mia with such a nice bank. His economy is just so great, and he is putting them through some upgrades.
This is not a good place for Mia.
Oh no, this is not good at all.
This means he cannot use his Hydralisk properly because he's not fighting them with their superior range. This is a great trade for Roro, and something that definitely gives him another firm hold on this game.
That did not go
well. Oh wow, he's actually going to defend his hatchery and kill these units for free in the middle of the map as well, it looks like. Well, it's hard to say. But this is going to be great. Coming from two sides, a great position for Roro. Mia needs to do perfect fungals here, and so far so good.
The problem was that he lost a lot of his army earlier, a huge chunk, and now he has to defend with what he has.
Exactly, he needs more units to buff with the Hydras. They're glass cannons. They cannot stand alone. They are support units, really, in this matchup. Oh, rallying the Hydras in by mistake as well. Mia dropping in supply like crazy.
Yeah, he's down to 136, and this small mistake may cost him the best of 3 here. Roro now also losing a lot, but still has a few infested Terrans in the battle. The hatch is under pressure. Mia defends with all of those Hydralisks, but the problem for him is that he's now down 40 supply. He was in a great position and sends the huge chunk of his army up the ramp, but not enough. And he runs right into the main force of Roro, who fungals him, takes the units down, and then the bank is gone for Mia. He cannot rebuild in time.
By the way, I want to mention, I think most critically about this, yeah, he lost a lot of units, but it's 40 roaches to 16 and 9 infestors to none. So, I mean, that shows in the supply. That's what the 60 supply it's missing is for Mia.
Mia was... this just shows how fast
things can change.
Yeah, exactly.
One mistake can lead to a downfall, especially because he was really banking on the Hydras as being the backbone of his army, but when you mess that engagement up one time, then they cannot fight alone.
He wanted to have the Hydralisks on the high ground and, of course, the few units that he sent up there so that he can put a bit of a flank on his opponent, can just sandwich him. But he didn't realize that Roro was already on the high ground with his own units, and when he got the information with the units that saw it, the fungals on his own army were already spot on and forced him to stay there to fight it out.
Yeah. By the way, +2 just finished for Roro, so you've been fighting all these armies with worse upgrades than his opponent. A great fungal could not have hit more roaches for Mia, but still, the actual amount of units on the ground is not enough here.
No, the roaches, they are just too much. They are really buff units in comparison to the Hydralisk. They can just take so much more damage, and look at this fourth dying. A run by trying to take down the fourth of Roro. He actually defends with his drones, but it's not enough.
Yeah, he's gonna get that hatch just barely. But this is critical, this attack to the right side, because if it's one hatch for two-man, that is not Hammurabi style, and he is actually just pushing through these roaches now with his superior roach count. Look at the supply dwindling, and the bank is so much better for Roro despite losing that hatchery.
200 supply against 120. Mia is looking at a loss here. So I'm not happy about what's happening here. 120 supply against 190, and Roro is apparently going through his opponent in game number 3. Mia so far is still defending, but just the amount of units that Roro can reproduce here.
Yeah, it's just insane. He's already reproduced. He's remaxed essentially here. I mean, both players about to have +2, but even if Mia gets it first, I mean, +2 can only do so much for you, man.
The army supply is 110
yeah, he
to
needs
55.
He needs a ×2 attack upgrade to be able to equalize the army supply.
That might save him, but that's the only thing that can save him here.
Maybe he's going to wait for Legacy of the Void, because this is it. GG.
Game over. Mia